Natasha, and thank you so much for joining me today. Well, today I am going to be making you a card, but more so I have some really big news to tell you about. First of all, a couple of quick things about today's card. This is the Papertree Floral Blush Toppers collection. Now, this is gorgeous, and I have not used these before. I actually don't think I've seen these before. I knew that toppers were a thing. I just, it hasn't come across my desk. So I wanted to create a beautiful, simple, easy card using these today. Now, for the big, exciting news. Well, this is so exciting for me. I am so excited to be able to tell you that I now have a website, my very own website. You can find this at www.natashafootecreative.com. It's live, it's open, it's going now, and we have been working on this for so long. My husband and I have been working on this for so long, and it's scary, it's terrifying. I am so nervous to do this, but I have been wanting to do this for so long. I have been wanting to bring you some card making classes that I thought were more helpful than what I could deliver here on YouTube, and so we have some card making classes, which I will just keep adding classes, and there is also going to be for this year, for 2024, an A to Z of the alphabet in card making. So there is going to be 26 videos for that one, obviously, with the alphabet. There are PDFs to download. There are card making glossaries, which has video links attached to every single one for you to watch. I'm just so excited. As I said, this is slightly terrifying at the same time, but I'm so excited to be able to bring this to you. We have worked so hard. Please be kind, please be gentle. As I said, this is just me, and we are trying. This is my husband and I. He's the techie, I'm more the content, but we have worked together to bring you this website. And I would just like to say, first and foremost, there is nothing that is changing with YouTube. It's basically going to be completely separate. I will carry on my YouTube as per usual. There is nothing going away, absolutely. So if you are interested, go on over and check out the website. There are several different options for you as well. But I am so excited to be able to finally let you know. A couple of things I just wanted to mention quickly before I go back to the card that I'm creating is that the card making classes are really designed. There are sort of 6 to 8 videos in each class, and they go from beginner techniques right through to complicated ones. So I think they're going to be really, really useful. And I will leave a link down in the description box below to the website. Of course, you can just type it in. It is all live. It is all going. We have lots of wonderful members already. So thank you to those who have already joined up with me. Now, back to this card that we are creating. I want to create a very subtle background for this beautiful, what I think is a hummingbird that I have cut out. And I've done some fussy cutting with some flowers and the bird. And I want to create a nice subtle background. So I'm going to just add some mint tape here because I want the background to pop off of, even though it's going to be quite subtle, we want it to be, noticeable, but in the background. That seems like a contradiction, but nonetheless, I am going to use, this is the Simon Hurley handwritten background stamp. Now there are lots of beautiful handwritten, background writing stamps out there, but this one is, I really like this because you actually can't read it. I mean, you probably could if you tried, but in general, unless you are, really peering at it, it's very scripty, very, very scripty, and it's in my opinion not meant to be read like that. So this is just a beautiful big scripty background. Now I used to have one like this. I kind of do have one like this, the woodware one, but it's much smaller, and I usually have to stamp it a few times to cover the background. So I shouted myself this beautiful big background stamp, which I'm excited for. I actually only have a couple of these big sort of rubber background stamps. I find them useful, but I really do pick and choose with what I do have. Now, just because we want to make this pop, so I'm adding the same grey ink. This is actually the Archival grey ink. It's called Shadow Grey. I could not find any grey inks. I think I have some Catherine Paula ones. I have no idea where I have put them, and I don't really understand how they can get lost. But anyhow, this one was sitting there, and it's actually working perfectly. It's stamped beautifully. It's the right amount of grey, and then I'm just going to add a little bit of ink just around the edges so that when we peel off that tape, we want there to be a crisp, beautiful line between there and the background. So I'm getting that with the mint tape. I am able to see through the mint tape enough to make sure that it's all lined up nice and even on my card front there. Now I'm actually going to load this onto another card base, although if you did this straight onto your card base full stop, that would be beautiful as well. So this looks pretty good. That's pretty much what I was going for. It's pretty subtle, even though it kind of stands off pretty good at the moment, but it is relatively subtle. I did decide to trim down that white border just a little bit. I had forgotten to do this beforehand, and this just means that I'm going to be able to actually see the card base that I'm going to put this on, and I want to do that because it's going to include some of those beautiful pinks that we have in the flowers. So I'm going to use the Innocent Pink. This is the Gina K Heavyweight Cardstock. This is beautiful for card bases, of course. I just use it for everything. Card fronts, card bases, all in one is good for me. And I'm just going to make 2 cards while I'm at it with this one. I'll pop one back into the packaging for next time in case I need one. And then this next part is just a really good case of we think the card is going in one direction and then we need to change it up. So I do want to have a sentiment for this one, obviously. And this card is actually going to be a thank you card, and that is more directed at all of you. If you are watching this right now, if this is the first video that you have seen of mine, welcome and thank you for being here. But I know that there are people that have watched hundreds. I started this YouTube channel a few years ago now, just because I really wanted to make the most of what we had in our stashes. And back then, that wasn't that popular. Card making supplies can get really expensive, and so I want to see the same things used over and over and over again when I choose to invest in them. I want to use things that I have around the house. I want to be able to find alternatives. I want alternatives suggested, and so this is really what my channel morphed into, and I love being here. I love the community that we have created. I have a Facebook group called Come Crafting with Natasha, and that is an amazing place to be. If you haven't seen, there are so many beautiful cards posted there that were inspired by the videos that I have created, and we have created such a lovely community in both of those places. So as I said, this is really just a big thank you to you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for sending cards, sending me mail. Thank you for the things that you say that you just don't know how much they can mean to somebody. So thank you. This card is for you and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now, speaking of, we have got these fussy cut flowers. Now, I laid them out how I wanted them to go, and I am going to pop these in the corner of my little card here, and you saw a minute ago that I stamped out the thank you sentiment on a little banner that I had, and I had a plan that was going to fit in there beautifully. I have got my beautiful little flowers all set and ready to go, but this pink one here, just before the glue dries, I actually decided to pop this up. There are foam dots all at the edges of those flowers, so they kind of start flat and pop up, but I decided to pop an extra one under there for just a bit more dimension, and they are very dimensional. I love them. Then I'm going to fully pop this little bird up, and why not use all the scraps of our foam dots there, because I mean it's all the same material, someone has just punched the holes in them, and so I may as well use all the scraps. No one's going to see that part, and so it may look terrible from the back, but that can be you and I a secret. And so once I put this little gorgeous birdie down, I'm sitting here thinking, right, this sentiment needs to go somewhere, and I was thinking, at the time, I thought it was going to pop sort of down the bottom, but I didn't want to cut off the bird's wing. And so here seems good, but the card is a little bit not balanced quite right, and it also covers up so much flower. I didn't want to cover up the bird's wing, so it didn't feel right to go here. It didn't really fit underneath his wing, and I wasn't really finding a good place for it. And so I was like, I think I'm not using this. And so I'm leaving these in because, again, nothing goes to plan 100% of the time. We just have to change sometimes, and this goes with all things in life. So I just take simply another sentiment. I'm going to, instead of putting this side by side, I'm going to stack this one on top of the other. And because we have that very, very light grey background, I'm able to just stamp stamp the black ink on top, and I think this looks absolutely fine. The card feels much more balanced this way as well, and I'm happy that I'm not covering up any of those gorgeous flowers or the gorgeous bird. Now all we have to do is use some liquid glue. This is the Ranger Multi-Medium in the matte finish, and I'm going to put this down onto my card base. I love that subtle pop of pink for the card base, and I've been really enjoying trying that on some cards this year. But there is my finished card for today. So as I said, thank you so much for being here. If you have time, pop over and see my new website. As I said, I will have a link to it down below in case you are interested in some card making classes and all of the other fun resources that are going to be there. Remember, I'm not going anywhere. YouTube is going to stay the same, so I will see you here for the next video. And at the end of this video, there is also going to be some others that may interest you that are similar that you might like to see as well. Of course, I will have links to everything used in this video in the description box down below. I will see you in the next video. Thanks, bye!